Welcome to weekly Bookworm podcast has 5. Hello, this is Santosh Nimmani. I'm an introvert used to hide behind shadows, but I understood the superpowers of introversion and achieved success in my corporate and personal life. I never used to understand when and why I should read books in my life. So from this podcast, I want to help people to make them understand why and when you should read this book. Today, I am going to help you to know about the book named The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma is a Canadian writer become famous for his The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari book series. Sharma worked as a lawyer until the age 25 when he self-published Mega Living, a book on stress management and spirituality. This book will help to you in understanding the meaning of your life, the purpose of your life. This is one among the best self help books. In this book, Robin explains you with a character called Julian. Julian is very successful lawyer. Now, what other mean about being successful? Julian was famous, rich, and he fought cases only to defend some really wealthy people. So, Julian had a big mansion, private jet, and of course, a Ferrari. Monk who sold his Ferrari quotes that even after achieving these huge things in his life, he is not satisfied. He wants more fame, more money, which led him to a point where he was working for almost 18 hours a day. As a result, he got divorced, he barely interacted with his family, and boy, did he look like an 80-year-old man, even though he was just 53. So, once during a regular court session, he felt some pain around his chest area and suddenly he fainted. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where doctors investigated that he would just got a heart attack. When Julian came back to senses, doctors advised him not to go so hard on himself, as he really was not in a position to sustain all that pressure. They asked Julian to quit his job and to live his life peacefully with what all he has earned. This came as a shock to him. I mean, he had been winning all the cases his entire life, but when it comes to the case of his own life, he looked like a loser. He took a few days to digest this fact and slowly he started to realize all his mistakes. So one fine morning, he took a very bold step. He started selling every materialistic thing which he has. He sold his mansion, his private jet, and yes, of course, he sold his Ferrari. Once he was done selling things, he set out on a journey in search of the true meaning of life. His journey was towards the mystical land of India, across the great Himalayan range where these Indian monks reside. These monks were not just ordinary, as they were among the people with the highest level of wisdom, and they were capable of liberating the potential of anyone's soul, body, and mind. Julian had his sources from where he gets to know that these monks live happily for more than 100 years. That too with lot of energy of like an young man. It took him days to find one of those monks who listened the Julian's story and agreed to take Julian to their secret village. Julian started living there with those monks in that village. Watching Julian's dedication, the monk leader decided to teach Julian the principle of life on a condition that Julian will not keep the knowledge to himself. Rather, he should spread it to the world. So the monk started narrating a story. The monk started telling Julian that, imagine, you are sitting in a beautiful garden which is full of different type of trees, flowers, and you can see many birds cribbling around. The flowers in the garden smell really nice and you have a good time there. Then you notice that there is a lighthouse in the middle of the garden and suddenly the door of the lighthouse opened. As you can see a sumo wrestler coming out of the lighthouse. It's really weird to look at the sumo wrestler as he was just wearing an underwear made of a thin wire. He wanders around and finds a golden stopwatch lying in the garden. As soon as he tries to pick it up, he slips and falls on the ground, lying motionless. After some time, the sumo wrestler can see that he gets it back and to his senses, probably because of the nice fragrance of rose in the garden, and looks towards his left. Once his left was a path paved out of small diamonds, which led to a place where the sumo wrestler can find all the happiness in his life. He started walking on that path and soon gets out of sight. Now, Julian is in a shock. Is this a story which makes any sense? Is there any story in this particular narration? He didn't understand. He asked the monk if this was some kind of joke or this story made no sense at all. The monk then said that this is no ordinary story, as the story has 7 biggest principles of life. The monk then went on and started explaining the story, leading it to its hidden meaning. The first principle is related to garden. The garden in the story symbolizes our brain. If you sow good seeds, you will eventually be nice fruits on trees, good plants bearing beautiful flowers and nice smooth grass. But if you put a garden inside the garden, or if you stop watering the plants, the place will soon turn into dump. Similarly, if you flood your brain with positive thoughts like kindness, love, and if you keep motivating yourself, your brain will develop into a beautiful garden bearing good thoughts. This will help you achieve great things in life with inner peace. But if you think negative, or if you don't give your brain some regular exercises, it will turn into this garbage dump, which can only yield some poisons. It's rightly said, an empty mind is devil's workshop. The second principle is related to the lighthouse, which symbolizes goals in your life. A lighthouse shows the right direction to the ships sailing in an ocean. Similarly, we should choose the right path in our life. You can only reach a destination if at all you know your destination. Choose a target and work on achieving it. You might have to face some difficulties while moving towards your goal, but if you are consistently moving in the right direction, sooner or later you will be going to reach your destination. The third principle, it is related to the sumo wrestler, which symbolizes kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese word that means continuous learning and improvement. Like a sumo wrestler has to be very specific with his diet discipline to achieve his fuse physique. We need to always keep learning. Business insane, whatever it is, you should be focusing on how you should be inculcating the habit of reading books, because of which you will be having a right mindset. Moreover, books are consolidated of everything that others have learned in entire lifetime. You can also have that knowledge in just few hours. So, isn't that amazing? The fourth principle is related to the underwear that the wrestler is wearing, which is made up of wires. which represents the self control and discipline. It might be small and thin or thick, but without that underwear, the whistler will be naked, and that really won't be pleasing sight. Now, if you have seen cable wire from inside, you might be aware of fact that it usually is made up of many thin wires which together formed a cable. These thin wires might be weak alone, but put together are even stronger than an iron rod. Similarly, our self control discipline is made up of every small thing that we do in our life. Be it waking up early or eating healthy, we see or we feel that these small things doesn't really matter. But in reality, these are the only things that matters. You don't see an instant impact, but in the long run, these small things can bring some big changes in your life that will define who you are as an individual. The fifth principle is related to the golden stopwatch, which symbolizes time. No matter how rich or poor you are, the only time you have in a day is 24 hours, not even a single second more or less. By the way, we utilize this 24 hours is what makes us happy or sad, rich or poor. Most of us have a habit of procrastinating, which is nothing but a waste of time. By the time you are done with building castles in the air, someone else out there just signed a huge profitable deal. By the time you woke up in the morning, someone else is running from the gym, feel fit and happy. Now, when you saw time is golden, it doesn't mean that you should always keep working. No. Instead, we must enjoy and have some fun activities in our day-to-day life. Then what really important is to manage everything in those 24 hours. Every successful person knows how to manage time. So they manage to do every single activity in the same 24 hours that each of us have got. Now the sixth principle is related to the fragrance of flowers. There is one really famous saying in China, which means that there is always a little fragrance remaining in the hands of those who gives flowers to others. So here this flower and fragrance symbolizes social cause. Doesn't matter how much you earn or what heights you reach, satisfaction of helping others is priceless. No wonder why some really rich people in today's world do charity work, investing their hard-earned money in developing some rural villages and many more things. So if you want to have that priceless feeling of happiness and satisfaction, help others selflessly and you will find yourself happy most of the time. The last and the seventh principle of the monk who sold his Ferrari is related to path of diamonds. The diamonds represent the small movement of happiness which come our way in life. These movements are always in the present time. Our human brains are designed in such a way that we tend to get disturbed thinking of our past, worrying about the future that we have at present. It can be literally be anything, playing with your kids in a nearby park or maybe spending some quality time with your partner. These present moments are supposed to be lived in present, and these are real diamonds in your life. If only you understood this now, you're really going to be good at the relationships and a real happy, contented person. I believe from this podcast, you got to understand the summary of this book, The Man Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. We'll meet in the next episode of our weekly bookworm. Until then, thank you. Have a nice day.